The humanitarian and development organizations have urged stakeholders to foster disbursement of funds from the global community to help avoid ongoing drought in the region. The leaders tasked governments in the region to prioritize provision of food and nutrition.
We have seen communities that have really been affected by the drought issue. We have seen loss of life, loss of livestock. We have seen communities unable to really lead day-to-day living.
The leadership of the non-governmental organizations, which include those working for development, humanitarian and faith-based organizations, which expressed profound concern regarding the forgotten humanitarian crisis engulfing the Horn of African countries, terming it shameful, and have since asked respective individuals to enhance rehabilitation of boreholes and increase protection of women and girls against rising sexual and gender-based violence, exploitation and abuse.
So we came together as civil society organizations working in this space to tackle this issue, to make a number of commitments, and to call upon global leaders to bring their attention.
Mithika Mwenda, the executive director of the Pan-African Climate Justice, claimed that the current trends with the droughts in the Horn of Africa is genocidal and validates calls for financing laws and damage with the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change mainstream.
We need systems, we need transparency, we need accountability. It is a crisis moment. The question the lady was asking is whether do we have those structures which we can trust to deliver the food to the people, even if we get donor funding from the international community. How is it going to reach the people?
PSCJA continue to play a role in shaping policy on matters of environmental conservation in Kenya, providing long-term solutions towards environmental degradation using the shamba systems.
Another way of forest grabbing and land grab, and for if it can't be a solution for afforestation, it has failed, so that's why we are opposing it. The long term of that is we are an agrarian country. We depend on rain-fed agriculture. So now you see, when we destroy, we are not going to be able to dry food, to grow food. And economically now, agriculture is the mainstay of our economy. So it has correlation to all the problems which we are undergoing now.
Samson Orao, Action Aid Programs and Strategy Lead, together with the other leadership of NGOs, have faulted the respective individuals for failing to address the climate-fueled catastrophe, which they claim are using the situation as an opportunity to benefit individuals, with the respective persons not being able to account for some of the donations received.
The demands that we are making upon world leaders, where is the money? Where does it go? What do we spend money on? We've seen various leaders within the region coming in and issuing populist declarations on climate change, saying we'll do this, we'll do that, and we are mobilizing water houses, we are mobilizing resources to do food relief, but where's the money?
Nitin Kenny Papaken, Country Director, Adventist Development and Relief Agency Kenya, expressed dissatisfaction occasioned by the drought situation, despite numerous warnings blaming global leaders, who he claims have remained reluctant when it comes to honoring climate financial pledges.
We've been able to help out the local community with resilience type of activities, particularly sustainable livelihood actions, kitchen gardening, building up of wells and water support systems, especially for the pastoralist. And also
Pastoralists from drought-affected region decry delay by all levels of governance to supply water to curtail the persistent drought that continues to render livestock lifeless.
Water from a far place to have dams where they live, so that the flowing water to the river can be harvested to the dams.
Mary Leikama from Kajiado says there is no food and water. Women and girls risk their lives walking for the whole day looking for water. The leaders have come up with recommendations and have agreed to work towards curbing the drought situation in the drought-hit regions.
Because sometimes this food is released and then it disappears somewhere in the panyarooms. So how are we going to ensure that it doesn't disappear there?
And I'm here today to say thanks to the President after releasing the relief food that went to most drought-affected areas in rangelands of Kenya. But then, as you look at the bottom line of the things here, the way things are and the drought affecting the sub-Saharan countries, we are still here as the activists to look down to the bottom line of the solution that is affecting the people.
Soon after the president flagged off relief food to drought-affected areas across the country, stakeholders have come calling to ensure there is accountability amongst those distributing the donations, even as the move and drought persists in the most affected regions. Stanley Lugari for The Informer, uncovering the truth.